What is going on, everybody? How is everybody's day going? We are here today to build a enclosure because we will be getting a P Metallica soon. So, first thing we are going to start with for this enclosure, we still have to put the top on, but wait to put your top on with this specific enclosure when you build it, because it is the Thrive Arboreal enclosure. So you want to be able to put all your stuff in to your enclosure, right? Let me try and make it so it's not so much cutting my head off. So I'm going to have to stand way back here. But let's get this started. So I got a couple things. I got to take the tags off. But got a nice plant we're going to utilize. Put that right there for now, up out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Put my lid to the enclosure right here, wrapped up still, so it doesn't get too scratched. Take a swig of my soda. Grape soda from the local butchers, actually. I really like this soda. Put that up over here. I still have to go to work, so trying to make this quick, but also semi-informative. The blend I'm using is called BioBlend from ZoomEd. I really like this stuff for when I do go to put my like isopods and springtails and everything like that, because I do really like bio setups. It has everything that they need, so they won't be particularly bothering your spider in any way, in any shape or form. And what I really want to do here is just kind of create a bed of sphagnum moss at the bottom of the enclosure, because it'll be a soaker and it'll soak up the moisture we put in and then permeate it up through the soil. And this already comes pretty decently moist. Some people really hate that word, but I think that's funny, so I want to save some of this moss. I don't want to use a ton of this moss. What we're actually going to do is get a nice piece of cork bark, and we're going to set that in there just like that. Maybe fill it with some dirt to raise it just a little bit. Yeah, I want to raise it just a little bit. Oh my goodness, the yelling. My family, I swear to God. Let's get that in there and spread it out just a little bit, because I will add more dirt than this. Just want to get it kind of in there, press it down just a wee bit so it sits on top of that moss bed we created for a moisture retaining area. That you only fill your water bowl in one corner and it'll permeate through the whole thing, and then it will cause humidity to rise through the bottom of the dirt. That's why you don't want to overwater it, then it just becomes a swamp, and you don't want that. It's a bad time. It's just not a good scenario. I actually really like that. That looks good. It's a nice big space back there. So then, I really don't want a whole lot of moss. But there's twigs and everything like that up in this. So there's all kinds of stuff for bioactive setup. I need to get my brush as well so I can brush all this off of here just a little bit. A little more sphagnum moss than I wanted. You want to compress all this, make sure this thing gets nice and secure. Because we are still going to have this big old canopy drop. Let's do this way. That way it has this, and then you can bend this to be like that, and that kind of creates a whole area that we can now. She has overcover, everything like that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna go get my brush. We'll be right back. Shortcut. All right, and we are back. I'm going to put a tad bit more substrate. This way, push all of it up into the corners that need it. Kind of flatten everything out just a little bit. So we really don't want this to fall over, if at all possible. And that should create a nice damp area to have everything. I do believe I like the amount of substrate I got. Just kind of pat that down. So I'm not going to have any live plants in this one. That was the whole reason I made sure that we kind of made that moss bottom. Because now what we're going to do is, because it's going to be in this corner, we're going to have the water bowl over in this corner. Give that some water real quick. Because we won't have our Metallica. I'm not ordering it until Tuesday. Hopefully it remains until then. We will see. I'm sure it will. He said he's got about 5 or 7 left, something like that. So, now, I will add the water dish later, but the water dish is going to go right about here. We're going to put our plant back in, like so. Dig it down just a tad bit. Get all these leaves to kind of stay in there. But this way, she has a whole lot. I'll move it over just a wee bit. But she has a whole lot of coverage in her hide area. So she can come up this leaf, come up over here, go down, etc., etc., etc. Sink that down there just a wee bit more. Pat it down. Quiet. Shh. Now, I'm going to take my brush. Hermione? Shush. Mind my dog. Hermione, cut it out. Clean this off just a little bit. It's going to get dirty either way. But everything shuts and operates properly. Put that like that. And then that should maybe add a little bit of moss in the corner. Just a tad bit. That way it kind of try and push that down in there. And what you can do in these situations is take your brush. Just take your brush and kind of poke it down up in there. To fill your gap. I'm satisfied with that. That clears that gap a little bit. All right. There's all kinds of static all over this door. It is quite warm out here in Arizona today. Not quite yet, but it's already at about 80. And we're on the patio doing this video. So, just for let you guys kind of see the final product. Nice big plant because they do like the coverage, and when she wants to sit, she can come sit over here on this side, or even over here on this side up on this bark. Or if she's feeling timid, she's got all that nice dry space back here that will allow her to feel secure. But this will be for a P Metallica. If you enjoyed this, I guess, build video, enclosure build video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate it. Peace, guys.